Okay, so inventory turnover is going to tell you, whether your inventory is converting into completed jobs or, if you're just, tying up a bunch of cash on a shelf. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have this number is just made up. Well, I guess this is sort of a dummy data set, but it's realistic because I do have HVAC clients. And so we start with a number here, and then we need to see, how much inventory was purchased, how much was used, what is the ending value, and then the average value, and then go by month, and then the next month's beginning value is the prior month's ending value, right? And then we divide the average inventory value by COGS to get a turnover rate, and then I'll show you how to visualize it, two different ways. Okay, so if you go into the data set here, you can see that anytime you purchase something, there's just a row, and anytime you use something, there's a row, right? So it's a pretty base. And so what we need to do is we need to get, let me zoom in a little bit. So we need to get the month here. So just type in the word month, and then type in the first month, January, and then drag it down until you get to December. And then we're going to want starting inventory, right? Inventory purchases, COGS, ending inventory value, and average inventory value. And so I'll copy this. And if you want this file, it's there's a link in the description to download it. Purchases, COGS, and ending value, so on. So we said it's just 320,000. So this is just again a made up number. You'll have your own number. And then from here, we can't calculate this yet, but we can do inventory purchases for the month of January because we have the purchases here and the dollar amount here. It just so happens that, if it's a purchase, there's nothing in the COGS, and if it's usage, there's nothing in the purchase. So we can sum this if this is January. So sum if. And fortunately, there's a function called sum if. So the first thing is the sum range. And the sum range is going to be here, comma, and then the month is here, comma, and then what you'll have here is we want to do for the month of January. And then if you press Control Shift and the number 4, it'll make it a dollar value, and then you can center it and just remove the decimals. And then you can drag this down. And then the COGS we also have that information, and that's going to be right here in column J. So same exact formula. The only difference is this is going to change from I to J. So what I'll do, I'll show you how similar it is in the sense equals the same exact formula, but just change I, delete I, and then type in J colon J. And then the same thing, I'll show you a little trick. If you go here and then press Control Shift down and then Control D, it'll autofill down. And then if you click the Format Painter, and I'll just do it all over here because it'll automatically format everything how I want going forward. And so, yeah. So now we can calculate the ending inventory value, right? It's going to equal the beginning plus purchases minus COGS. So equals this plus this minus this. And we have 291. And then this equals the ending value, right? January's ending value is going to be February's starting value. And then we can drag this down. You're not going to have anything. But once we fill this in, then you're good to go. Okay, so now we want to get the average inventory value. And the average inventory value is just beginning, plus the ending divided by 2 to get the average for the month. So equals, and I'll show you something here. So divided by 2, and you get 465. And it's like, how is it possible, that this is 465? Because what it's doing is it's taking 320 and then adding 291 divided by 2. If you remember, order of operations, right? So it's going to divide first, which we don't want. So you need to make sure you put that into parentheses here. Okay, and now you can drag that down. And then your turnover ratio is going to be your inventory value divided by your COGS, right? Or sorry, COGS divided by inventory value. So I'll just I'll copy this, save me 2 seconds from having to type it, equals, your COGS divided by your inventory value. And then you can, if you press Control Shift and the number 1, it will put it at 2 decimals. And so, yeah, so that's how you do that. Pretty straightforward. And so now what we want is we want this line chart here of inventory turnover by month. Super straightforward to do. All you have to do, highlight the month, press control, and then highlight the inventory value, go to insert, and then you can click the line here. And then now you have the inventory turnover. And let me just change it. Okay, so now you have inventory turnover. If you want to make this 1 decimal, just double click and then go to number here and then to 1 decimal. And then that'll cut that down. And if you want to see the values, click the little crosshair and then data labels. Okay, and then I'll just sort of make this a little bit smaller and narrower. I'll just put that right here. Okay, so now we have that one. And the next chart we want to have, purchases versus, your COGS, your cost of goods sold. And it's very similar. It's just a different chart type, obviously. So highlight month, we want to do purchases versus COGS. So highlight month, hold down control, highlight purchases, and then COGS as well. And then you can go to insert. You can click on recommend at the time, and then it's gonna be the second one here for a clustered column. Click OK. I'll make it dark again, and then that's gonna show you purchases versus. I'll just call it purchases versus COGS. But yeah, so that's how you do that. Pretty straightforward, short video. I'm almost at 7 minutes. I'll show you one more thing. I'll show you how to do conditional formatting if you haven't seen any of my other videos, because I do it pretty much in most of them. But just highlight the value, go to conditional formatting. So the home tab, conditional formatting, and then color scales. For inventory, we want green is high, or beginning inventory value. You could want green as high, and then for inventory purchases, you could want red as high. Like when I say that, I mean the red value, the highest value being red. And so again, conditional formatting, color scales, but it's the second one. If you can see the little box here, you can see at the top is red versus at the top is green. So you can do that. And then you can just go through each one of these and do it. Or you could highlight and then go to double click the format painter on the home tab. So cost of goods sold, red should be high. With these two, you might want green as high, so you can just highlight this one and then double click and then do it that way. But anyways, that is all I got for this video. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email. You can reach me at questions at databoards.io about this video. If you want me to cover, any specific KPI that I'm not covering, just again shoot me an email. And if you need some help, with your day-to-day stuff, there's another link. One, you can email me, but there's another link that you can set up a time to chat with me. And so yeah, anyways, that's all I got for this one, and I will see you in future videos.